When are you going to start talking again?
Hello, and welcome to Talking Pasta.
Welcome to Talking Again Pasta. No,
I'm hungry.
This is Talking Again podcast.
Talking Again
Marla.
podcast.
That's all right. How you expect to take over my show if you can't even pronounce it or say it right?
Let me get it right.
Would you like to introduce our guest?
Yes.
Oh, we're gonna leave that in the podcast.
Oh my goodness.
We're gonna leave that in there.
Okay.
All right. Would you like to introduce our guest?
Hello, Isabella. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah.
Fido, how are you?
I'm very well. Thank you, Marla. So, do you guys want to point out what I did earlier? We talked for like 5 minutes and I forgot to hit record.
Can you believe that?
And this is again why this is the number one podcast that nobody listens to. But it's okay. We're gonna deal with it.
They're gonna listen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Miss. Can we say Miss in front of that junior or no?
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Junior Teen California.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So you've been doing pageantry for 1 year.
Yes, for 1 year.
All right. And then how'd you get into pageantry?
Same thing, similar to cheer. My mom, so before COVID, I had signed with a modeling agency, and then COVID happened, and it's just really hard to get to all those auditions and everything like that. So we ended up taking a break, and she thought pageantry would be a good route for me to do similar things to modeling, but also get experiences like interview and just speaking to people and everything like that. And I think it's definitely been an awesome experience.
Wow.
Was there any kind of idea for like with your mom to get into modeling, like transition to acting? Is that why you wanted to do interviews or brush up on interviews?
Actually, no. I've never really wanted to do acting. I think for me it was just the modeling portion. But I think definitely interviews, everything like that with pageantry definitely gives you so much life experience that you don't get anywhere else, especially for kids my age and girls my age. Like, where else can you go to have like one-on-one interviews with people and get chances to do public speaking? Like, that's really cool and a really awesome experience.
And so the cheerleading thing, are you still doing it?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
so you started that 2 years ago, you said. And then before that, you were doing
Gymnastics.
And that was you were doing since you were a little girl?
Yes.
Like baby?
Yeah, like 4.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay, because a lot of the pageantry girls started around that time too, right? 4.
Yeah.
That's where as soon as they can walk, some of them.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a little competitive for you? Like just knowing that you're late in the game. Is it fair to say late in the game?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think definitely I get a little bit scared, especially going to internationals, knowing that some of these girls have been doing pageants for years. But I've been working very hard, making sure I can catch up, working on my interview, my walking 24/7, all hours of the day. Yeah, it's
Wait,
a lot.
how do you practice 24/7 your walking? Like when you came up here through the sidewalk to my house, were you practicing?
A little bit, got to practice the posture.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a trip. Does it just come natural to you, or is that something that you have to force yourself to do?
I think definitely it was a little bit more work for me. The walking portion, I think, was definitely harder, more practice, making sure I got the posture and learning the turns and all the correct walking technique, I think was harder for me.
Yeah. And do you think gymnastic helped you out with that a lot? Like as far as balance wise and everything?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Gymnastics and cheer. I'm a flyer, so I'm the one up in the air, having all the body control.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that definitely helped a little bit.
No fear of heights?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you imagine being thrown up in the air like that?
Yeah, no, I cannot.
How far do you think you've
No,
been thrown up
thank
in the air?
I think definitely, oh my goodness, very, very high.
Really?
I think, yeah.
Because you can only get thrown as high as the person that's throwing you, right?
Yeah.
Can throw you.
Yeah, but it's also 3 girls underneath you, or sometimes if you do co-ed, it's guys.
Oh yeah.
So definitely they could do a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any twirls while you're up there?
No, I haven't done those yet, but
Yeah.
that would definitely be
Okay.
very, very cool.
Is that something that you're gonna be working on?
Yes.
Nice. But then the gymnastics thing, that you don't do anymore.
No.
Okay, but did you compete in that gymnastics?
No, I didn't end up competing over there because I was just practicing. And then since I did that, because I'm only 13 right now. So 2 years ago, I was 11. So I hadn't got to where I was competing yet, but I think it would have definitely been very, very cool to get that experience competing as a gymnast.
You only competed in cheer?
Yes.
Okay, so that kind of helped you out with the pageantry?
Yes.
As far as competition-wise?
Yes, I think definitely, because you have to memorize all those routines and then go on stage. I think that's really what I like, too, about pageantry. It reminds me so much of cheer and just getting that adrenaline rush when you're on stage in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your first experience on stage as in pageantry?
Yes, tell us, please.
That one was definitely a little bit more rough. That one, I was focused more on interview, and I did a little bit of walking practice, but I wasn't expecting it to be as hard as it was, because I saw, like, when I went over there, the girls had amazing walks, and I was like, oh my goodness. So I definitely had a major learning experience from that one, and it was just like, I gotta practice my walk from here on out. Definitely a very important part that I need to focus on.
I'm sure that can be a little bit intimidating, right? Like,
Oh, yeah,
when you show up
absolutely.
somewhere and this is your first time, and you know, it's like when you walk into a room and you feel like you don't belong, right? There's that little bit of that, and then you're like, man, what am I gonna do? But then how'd you overcome that?
I think pageantry, you have amazing experiences with all the girls. All the girls are so lovely. I think there's a stigma about pageant girls being like kind of stuck up and snooty, but none of them are like that. Everyone's super amazing. They all have goals. They all are very successful. Like my friend Berlin, she's an awesome gymnast. She's like a level 9 gymnast. She's incredible. And then a lot of other girls I meet are cheerleaders. They do amazing things in their life that people I don't get to meet at school and have that drive.
So that you're saying that at school you don't have anybody like that same kind of passion?
Not really.
No.
Sadly.
That's
no.
kind of sad,
That
huh?
is.
Isn't that kind of sad?
Yeah.
You know what the real sad part about it is that, she had said earlier about that there's a bad stigma of pageantry girls. And I think that has to do with nothing with you girls. It's with the people that feel that way. It's their insecurities. They're the ones that feel insecure about themselves. And they got to pick on you because you're so happy, right?
Yeah.
Why is she so happy?
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Don't feel bad, But yeah, man, can you imagine up there on stage being your first time?
Yeah.
Her second time, I'm sure it was nothing like that. She was probably already like, let me,
Yeah.
right? Because you seem like you said earlier, your mom knows you and you get passionate about it. And you probably work really hard to get to where you're at now.
Yes.
How many pageantries have you done?
3 so far.
3, and she's already Miss Junior Team California.
Hello.
That's tough, right?
Yeah.
So how did you go on the second one? Tell us about that.
So the second one is actually when I won Junior Teen California.
Oh, wow.
So I did my first pageant last summer, and then this one I did in May
Okay.
for Junior Teen California. So I had that whole year, and I was working that whole year. So I was definitely a lot more confident in interview and everything that I worked to develop my platform, walking practice. I definitely felt a lot more like comfortable with everyone over there. Like I felt like I had worked enough to be there, and all the girls were cool. Yeah, I think definitely, yeah.
Nice.
It's like that old saying they say, act like you've been here before. And
Yeah.
she's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
She's like, I've been here before. So it's
Yeah.
easy for me to act like that, right?
Good.
Wow. When you say that you work on your pageantry, are you familiar with pageantry at all?
Not really.
And the way it works, like A through Z?
No.
Can you tell us a little bit
Can
about
you
that?
tell us a little
Like the work as far as that's
Yeah,
involved?
I think definitely just making, like, interview isn't, there has to be stuff to talk about interview. You got to talk about what you do. And platform is very important because they don't want to just choose a girl that's going to have her reign and not do anything. They want someone that's going to make a difference. They want someone that's passionate about something. So definitely, I think working on that's what I mean, like platform-wise.
Right.
You can't just say you have a platform, but you have to do stuff to work on it. You have to have stuff to talk about. Like, oh, for me, I started my own virtual financial literacy program. So I talk about that and what we do over there. And, going to the West Covina board meetings for my school district and going to the mayor and talking to all those people, I think that definitely builds more to talk about during your interview. And on stage takes a lot of practice as well because you have to learn the choreography, and every different pageant system has a different way that they want you to walk. So you have to kind of look at that. Like, they all have different walking patterns. So it's just a lot of preparation, choreographing everything, and definitely interview.
Wow. That's a lot of work.
Marla, you've done some modeling.
I did.
Oh, really?
But nothing
Can you relate to
compares
that a little bit?
I can relate. But nothing more than that, though.
But I mean,
That's-
like,
that's
talk a little bit
amazing.
about like when you
Yeah.
model, like you there's a little bit that goes into it. It's not just like
Well,
let me take
yes.
a picture,
Yeah,
right?
it's always about like, of course, your posture is very important, and like absolutely being friendly to everyone, thanking everybody that's there for you, looking good in pictures, know your like best
Yes.
side, that's for sure, right?
Mhm.
You deal with that
Yeah.
too, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always got to know which way it's your like,
Uh-huh.
which side's your best
Yeah.
side, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 Good
Well,
for you, sweetie.
It sucks. You guys have like all good sides. Me, I can't even. I'm trying to hide. Like the mic is up here so that I can hide from the shot. I don't even know why I'm in the middle. I should switch with you. Can I tell you a little funny story?
Yes.
I'm not sure if you heard about it, but the way that I learned of Isabel, I know I just recently told you about it, but she had mentioned the West Covina City Council meetings. I'm one of those guys that sits there and watches all my West Covina City Council meetings. So I saw her, every time right before they give awards, right, recognition, right, they recognize somebody from the city, and she was being recognized, but because I didn't know of her, I didn't really think too much about it. I just kind of saw and I recognized. I should say, her outfit stood out. How's
Yeah.
that? Okay. So then later that evening, or I think the next day, because I watch them late at night, because
Yeah.
they go on for a long time. My sister, shout out to Sandra from Sandra's Sewn to Serve.
Yes.
2 as in the number 2 to serve. She posted a picture of her, and I was like, wait a second, hold on, what's going on here? And then I read the comment, and then she made your dress.
Yes.
So I told her, like, hey, dude, check this out. I just saw her last night at the city council meeting, not at the city, but
Yeah.
And then that, sure enough, she goes, well, yeah, I make her some of her outfits.
Wow.
So trip out on that, right? And I was like, okay, so that's how we had made that connection through
Yeah.
Sandra. So
Yeah.
so the outfits, what's your input in the outfits for that she makes?
I normally come up with the design with her, or I see like inspo, because I think outfits also make up a part of pageantry. Like, you always want to have a nice dress, so you always want to look presentable. Everyone's looking at you all the time.
Exactly.
So interview, you need to make sure you look good. And then even check-in outfits, everything, you need to make sure you're looking good. So Sandra helps me with that so much. She helps me work on the different designs. She makes them incredibly. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Nice.
You said check-in. What's a check-in? Like,
Check-in, like registration, where you get to meet all the girls.
that's important. The way you dress to check-in is important.
Yes.
That's a trip. To me, that's mind-blowing. Really?
Yeah.
Because I'm imagining like this is where you guys are at not your worst, but like at your laid-back, casual sweats. Just kind of like whatever, hair in a bun. You're saying you guys have to doll yourselves up for that?
Yeah.
That's a trip.
That's how it is.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't want to skip over the platform part. You mentioned your platform.
Yes.
You started up a business, or what is it that you started up?
A virtual financial literacy camp.
Virtual financial literacy camp.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So yeah, for that, it's basically a simple way for kids and teens to learn all things finances. So we basically do them in like chapters. So chapter 1 is going over credit cards, like credit scores, how they work, and how it affects you and everything like that, and how they work, everything like that. And then next ones, it's like investing and stuff like that. So I think it's definitely important that kids need to be learning.
Is this something that you
Absolutely.
came up on your own? Or-
Yes, yeah, and definitely help with my parents as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get so involved with finances?
Well, my parents are financial professionals, and I see all the good they do in other people's lives, and I want to do the same thing too. So I think that's definitely what gave me the passion to start doing that. But for the youth, my peers, yeah.
You had a comment about that.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I have a youth account for my son from the day he was born. So,
Oh, yeah.
yes, I know that's important.
Yes.
And I would definitely will want my son to be involved
Yeah.
with you to help
Yeah.
him more about that.
What are some of the ways you think we can introduce financial literacy in our public school system?
I think right now I've been doing research on it, and I think what I need to be doing is just start with my local community and working on like going to their meetings, going to school site council meetings, and working on like developing curriculum that would be easier to implement in schools. So I think working on an easier curriculum that'll be easier to implement slowly and making sure that kids actually understand, because we want to make sure that they understand what they're learning.
Yeah. Have you pitched this to your school board meetings already?
Not yet, but they did recognize me there, so they've been seeing all the work that I've been doing with my platform. And hopefully this year I can start to attend more of those school site council meetings and start pitching it to them and being like, hey, this is something that kids at our school and more schools need to be learning about.
Have you found any of your peers to want to learn that in schools?
Yeah, a lot of them have followed my Instagram, have seen me along my journey, and tuned in to my virtual financial literacy programs. Even my lives they tune into, and I even do posts like with little tips and everything. Everyone that's interested goes to my Instagram and looks for that stuff.
Oh, cool. So you have everything on Instagram at your page?
What is your Instagram?
Isabel Fulmer. Just at Isabel Fulmer.
Awesome.
Is that the same one for the program that you started?
No, everything on my program will be on there, on Linktree and everything like that. So it's all one on one platform.
Okay.
All through Isabel Fulmer?
Yes.
Okay. Good to know.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's pretty exciting though.
I'm excited for you, Isabel.
Oh, thank you so much.
I mean,
Yes,
just to think, like, do you remember when you were in school, middle school, high school, learning about that stuff?
No.
How credit cards work?
Nope.
I don't remember that either.
Yeah,
because they didn't teach it, right?
They didn't.
Yeah, I think it's
College.
I think it's super important because
Mom, you said that? Not even in college
Not
they teach
even
that?
college.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't go to college, though. That's crazy.
yeah, I think it's super important because schools don't have one single class that everyone's going to benefit from. Because if you're either going to be like a doctor or something, you're probably going to want to focus more on math and science. But if you're an aspiring journalist, maybe English or world history, there's not one class that benefits everyone. Like 100% of the class is going to benefit from that class. But if they taught financial literacy, everyone's going to need to learn it. Everyone's going to need to know it at some point, and it's all going to affect them. And especially with our generation is going to be taking over government. They're going to be running businesses, police stations, fire stations. Yes, basically. So I think definitely we need people to be financially literate to be able to do that. So I think that's definitely something we need to be putting in the school systems.
Have you had anyone debate you or argue with you about that?
No, not yet.
Can I play the devil's advocate in this one?
Sure.
What if someone was to tell you, or the school board, we already have that. We have math. You know, why should we force that on students? If they want to do it, they'll learn it themselves. Why should their parents should be doing it?
Well, because I think they shouldn't rely on the parents, because some parents don't have that knowledge either. So some people are more fortunate, like me, where my parents know more about that stuff, so I can go to ask them for help. So if I buy my first car, I can ask them more stuff about that, versus other kids, they're not going to be in that same boat. Either their parents don't know how to help them. There's either things like language barriers and stuff like that. So it's a lot harder, and I think school systems should be providing that for everyone. Yeah. So they all have the same opportunities.
I agree with you 100%. Like there's adults that don't understand how finances work right now. You know what I mean? And they're in deep, you know. But that's good. I'm glad. I was kind of like, I was testing you. I wanted to see what you were going to say. You said exactly what I thought you should have said, and you said it. So good job on that one.
Thank you.
Because there will be one coming for you.
Oh, you know what? That's the thing. I think there's always, you said it, you know, there's always those haters, right?
Yeah.
And and no matter what platform you have or you want to push, someone's going to give you, you know, someone's going to fight with you about it. They're going to argue with you. They want to debate you. That's what we're naturally, we just want to debate, right? That's what it is. And I'm glad that these conversations are good because, you know, you get to talk to people. You know, talk to adults, you talk to your peers about it. I really would advise you to talk to your peers as much as you can.
Yes.
The younger ones even, you know, and let them know, like, my kid is only 12 years old. Not that far from you. You're 13, right?
Yes.
Well, there you go. We talk to him about that stuff. So I'm trying to get him to understand. Probably too much because sometimes I get calls from school where he's selling candy and making a profit. And I, you know, and I'm like, oh, great. I'm kind of like, cool. Like, yeah, good job, dude. Yeah. But then I'm like, hey, ease up, dude. Like, don't be slanging this stuff at school. Like, we really got to notice him.
It's funny.
But we talk to him about that. So he understands the value of a dollar. And not just the value of the dollar, but like the value of making that dollar.
Making a dollar.
You know, that extra dollar. And that's another thing that, you know, Marla over here, she's got her own business. She's gone through a couple businesses, you know, so you understand that as well.
I do.
And how it works, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's great. I think it's great what you're doing.
Thank you.
And trying to, you know, push this agenda is great. It's awesome. Some of the girls that you've gone against, can you remember what their platforms were? Like that just stands out?
Yeah, I think definitely one that applies to our generation right now is my friend Berlin's, the one that I said did gymnastics. Her platform is Teens Off Screens. Kids are on their screens so much, and she talks about it like, hey, like kids need to get outside. They need to do stuff. It's not about no screen time at all. It's about having healthy limits for yourself. Mm-hmm. So I definitely learn a lot from her, and I think that's a really important topic that applies to our generation, especially since we're the like social media generation. Like every kid is
born with the screen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's I don't think that kids have these conversations. Do you guys have these conversations at school?
Not at school.
But well, outside of school, maybe like your peers, you guys have these conversations, or is it just the pageantry girls?
Just pageantry girls.
Pageantry girls are the smartest kids, the smartest kids around.
Is that what's going on here?
Is that what it is? Is that what you're telling me? Our beauty pageant girls are gonna save the world? Is that what you're telling me?
Hope so.
No, I love that movie.
Yeah.
With Salma Hayek? No, Sandra Bullock.
Oh my goodness, you're talking about Miss Congeniality. Yeah.
I love that movie. Even though I couldn't think of the name, but she's, you know, saved the world.
Yeah.
But there's I know that I say jokingly, but there's a little bit of truth to that.
Yes.
I mean, you girls are smart. You guys know, you guys, good head on your shoulders, know what you're talking about. So that's good. I appreciate that. We did ask, if you remember, some fan questions.
Yes, I saw that.
Would you like to go over some fan questions?
Yeah, sure.
We may have already answered some of these.
Okay.
But we'll go ahead and give it a shot.
Yeah, let's look.
Okay.
Marla, would you do the honors?
Let's see.
I hope you could read my writing.
Let's start with.
So, at Los Magic Flights asked,
what is something that should be taught at middle school level that isn't being taught now?
I think definitely what I've been saying my whole platform, financial literacy.
We did answer that.
I think, oh my goodness, everyone's gonna need it. Yeah. In their life somehow, some way. Because when you make money, you don't want to just not know what to do with it, because you're working hard for that money. You want to make sure, especially with retirement and everything, learning how to retire, so you don't just work till 65 and like retire and only have a few years left. Like, you want to be able to enjoy it. You want to have your money put to work and make sure that you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think it's
at
very
an early
important.
age, can you imagine your money's working while you're still in school, in high school?
Damn. Oh yeah.
I wish I knew that.
I know.
I started late, 25. So, but if I knew that in high school, man, because I worked in high school. I was your age 14 when I got my first job, and I wish I would have put my money into that.
I know. I wish I would have saved every 10% out of my check.
Jeez, imagine.
At 18, imagine that.
Yeah.
So get on it, honey. You are on it.
Question number 2.
Yes.
So we have Sandra_Avon3. That's my sister.
Yes.
Also known as Sandra Zone 2, the number 2 serve. I always like to promote her page.
Yes.
But she doesn't. You know.
She's amazing.
She asked, what got you started in pageantry, and what about it do you absolutely love? I know we touched on it a little bit, of that, but what is it that you absolutely love about it?
I think just the self-growth that you get from pageantry, like building your confidence and building yourself up as a person. Like, now it's community service, less like you have something like that you're passionate about. And I think it's definitely grown. I've definitely grown as a person because of pageantry, and I've learned so much from it.
Nice. Good. I like that. I'm going to ask the second one.
Yeah.
The third one. Are you okay with that?
Go ahead, please.
Okay. At Josaline Molina asked, she's also the former Miss Riverside
I saw that.
city. She says, what have you learned in your year of service, and how will you use it later as you grow up?
Okay, well, I won this title in May, so it hasn't been a year yet, but I'm also learning a lot, and I've definitely been working super hard because internationals is coming up super soon, and I think I've definitely learned a lot just in this few little months that I've had my title. And what I'll carry with me is probably, oh my goodness, I think definitely,
We put her on the spot.
I know.
I think we finally got it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Time City.
I think networking. Networking. I think definitely from pageantry you learn a lot of networking. Like right now I'm networking. And just learning to build those connections that will most likely help you in the future and will definitely help you as an adult. I think networking as an adult is super important, and I think I'll definitely take that with me.
Yeah. No, it is important. I mean, we do it all the time. Even when you're in your own workplace, you do it. You network, you know. Something simple as like, what can you do for me, and what can I do for you? Like simple as that.
At his family party too. Working there too.
So, Lily Doll asked a question. You want to take this one?
Oh, sure.
At Lily Doll 247 asks.
Are
529
plans a good way to save money for kids?
Okay, so I saw this yesterday and I did a bit of research on it. So I know that you could definitely start it before they're even born. You become the beneficiary on it, and then once they're born, you put their name as the title, right? You keep contributing to it because it's for academics. So it's for their college and everything like that. So even if you don't use it for their college and they have siblings, you could give it to their siblings. So if their siblings go to college, but even if you don't want to do that, you could roll it over into a Roth IRA.
Ooh, that's big.
So that's really cool because the money was already growing in the 529 plan, and now it's going to the Roth IRA. So because they didn't use it for all that time, they can now put it in a Roth IRA.
Do you have to pay any fees for that?
I remember that there were some tax stuff, but that was only in 30 states. So you definitely have to look into, because there were some tax benefits, I think, that would definitely help.
Nice. I like it. 529 plans. I know that's one of the ones that we have, for our kids.
Okay.
That was my wife that asked the question. I got two more questions. I'm going to ask this one, and then you can do the last one. So we have at Larry Fulmer. I think you know this person, right?
Yes, that's my dad.
He asks, how did you get into pageants?
Oh, well, just the whole modeling thing.
I know we already got into it.
Yeah, but I think.
But like how though? Like how did you went to the community office?
Okay, so this is kind of funny. My mom saw an ad on Instagram.
Wow.
So she sent it to me. She was like, you should totally do this. And I was like, kind of like, oh, I don't really know. I've never done one before. Like, I don't think I'm going to be able to compare to the rest of the girls. And then we did the photo shoot, and I started talking to more people because there was like the Miss United States right next to me getting her hair done, talking to her. Like, it was amazing. So then I was like, oh my goodness, I can learn so much from doing pageantry. And then that's when I learned about developing my platform. Like, what am I passionate about that I want to help more people with? So that's when that whole spark kind of started.
Yeah.
So
did you do any kind of research before you went and did like the photo shoots on pageantry? Like just kind of how it works, how you benefit from it?
Not before I went to the photo shoot, but definitely after the photo shoot. Yeah, because I was like, oh my goodness, this is so cool. Yeah. I definitely need to. I'm already joined. I'm here to win it. I'm going to do the most of my power that I can, the most research that I can, the most preparation that I can.
Yeah, I like it.
Wow.
Can you do the last one right there?
Yes. And the last one is from at Motherly Hustle.
The Motherly Hustle.
Mom. The Motherly Hustle. Do you like to sing? Because I've seen your singing videos and your voice is everything.
Okay. I definitely used to sing a lot more when I was little, especially in Spanish.
Oh, really?
Because, I've been... Okay, we're going to say not bilingual yet because through the school system, they have a dual immersion program. So basically most of my schooling was in Spanish. So my mom transferred me in there when I was in first grade. Knew no Spanish at all because apparently kindergarten was too easy.
Wow.
So she took me to all Spanish class. I was crying when I came home. I was like, I have no idea what my teacher is saying. Yeah. But thank goodness I stayed because now I'm going into my 8th year.
Oh, wow.
So I think definitely over there I'm learning. So I'm much better at the reading and writing. And I could definitely read it off to you if you gave it to me. So I think that's what singing kind of started. But I think I have more trouble with having a conversation with someone in Spanish.
I was just going to ask you that. Like, ¿podemos tomar una conversación ahorita en español?
Poquito.
¿Poquito? Okay.
Tal vez.
Tal vez. Ok, según, tal vez lo hacemos otro día o otro año.
Sí.
Cuando estés más, how do you say fluent? I should know this. Fluente?
Influente?
Fluente?
I don't even know.
I should know that too, right? But I don't.
I'm teaching my son Spanish too. And let me tell you, honey, the people that know more than one language, they're winning in life.
Oh, yeah. Especially right now, right?
Like, there's no shame in that.
No, she's got
You're
it.
doing
She
good.
got it going now. She got it good.
Oh yeah, COVID definitely affected everything because more Zoom teachers weren't speaking in Spanish as much, and you weren't being forced to being like speaking in Spanish, because in class you're only allowed to speak in Spanish. So anything you need to say, it's got to be in Spanish. So versus Zoom, you just type it on the computer, like you know.
Yeah.
So it was less. But then now that I'm going back, we're slowly getting better, and Spanish is coming back, and I think that's back to singing. Yeah, so I started singing in Spanish. But I think definitely over the years, I've gotten less confident in my singing and getting more shy about singing. So, yeah.
When I was asking, who's your favorite, Becky G?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
No Selena?
Selena Quintanilla?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's awesome.
There you go.
Most girls go to Selena. Or I should say girls, because some guys go to Selena too. I'm one of those guys. I'll sing Selena songs all day long.
Well,
I'm not good at it.
Her music is beautiful.
Yeah.
Her music was like a beat, love, you know.
You know, I want, and that's cool. So the singing is only in the shower now. It's no longer singing karaoke.
You know, maybe I'll start posting videos.
There you go.
Yeah.
We can maybe.
Do you do any TikTok?
No, I don't. But there's always Instagram Reels.
Start.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah.
Instagram. I think she has a thing against TikTok. I think that's what it is.
Oh, really, Isabel?
Yeah.
Mom.
Or maybe Mom does. Maybe Mom does. Just kidding. No, I want to piggyback on one of these questions.
Okay.
Your dad asked, how'd you get into pageantry?
Yeah.
I'd like to say more of how much your parents, I guess, motivate you or support you in pageantry. I know you just started, but how much support do you have there with all your family? I know you got a couple brothers, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I have 2 brothers. My whole family supports me so much on my whole journey. They're always there for me, and definitely they're always the ones like mock interviews. I do mock interviews all the time. So it's either friends or family doing mock interviews with me. So I'm either doing it with my mom one night, my dad one night, my siblings, and friends and family. So everyone supports me.
That's cool. I like it. So the questions, do they have something already lined up as far as questions for you? They Google it on the internet, or is there these questions that have been asked previously? So
it depends on the pageant system, because I did a pageant a few weeks ago, and they have like a sheet, like a bio sheet. So there's a few questions. It doesn't mean that they're going to ask those ones, but it's definitely more stuff that they're going to try to ask during the interview versus some, like the Regency title. It's a panel interview, completely random. But my pageant coach, Christiane Lopez, she has a pageant coaching business. Well, she's also my pageant director. So, yeah, there you go. She has a pageant coaching business, and she tells me all the stuff that I got to look for, like most of the questions that we've got to be doing. And, like, there's one question that is super important at the beginning of these panel interviews. It's tell me about yourself. You got to hit all those points. You got to have something in place where it's like, these are my hobbies. This is what I want to talk about during my interview. So that's where you get, like, where the rest of the questions from your judges stem from. Yeah.
Can I tell you something? Let me share something with you. When you go to a job interview as an adult, that's the question they ask you. Tell me a little bit about yourself. That's the number one question. That's the number one thing they ask you.
And I wonder why.
Well, I think what it is they want to see how you're going to, like, put yourself over. If you can't put yourself over, then you maybe can't put our company over. I think that's what it is. I mean, I'm not a human resource, but but that's good that you're already learning that. She's already ahead of the game. That's what I'm saying.
She is. You are.
Good job. That's cool. I want to get into some fun stuff right now.
Okay.
Can you remember some of the questions that they asked you in these panels that just they stumped you, or you fumbled through an answer and you're like, anything like that?
Yes, there's definitely one that I think I had the most trouble with. Well, I could go on stage one as well.
On stage.
But one that they asked recently was, how would you respond to a bully?
Oh.
And it was really hard because most of the pageant questions they ask is platform related or something about yourself. So I was the only one that got a question like that. So I was like, oh my goodness, how do I respond to this? Like, because it was very vague. And I was like, well, what did they do to me? Like, how do I respond to this? Because I don't know. I was like, I have no idea how I would respond to a bully. I've thankfully never been bullied, never experienced bullying. So I had no idea, nothing to go off of. So I think that's definitely something I had really a lot of trouble with. And I didn't want to say something like that, because I was like, oh my goodness, people in the audience might think, or maybe my judges might think that I'm being like insensitive to a very important topic, but I just don't know much about it.
Yeah.
So I just tried my best to answer the question, and that's definitely the hardest question I've been faced with so far. Do you remember how you answered it? It was definitely tell an adult, have someone supportive there to help you, and we need to spread more awareness about this topic, because I was thinking in my head, I don't even know much about this. Yeah. So that's how you know that there needs to be more awareness spread about it, because that's what you can really hope that would help, because kids are still probably most likely going to bully, but if they know the effects and how it affects people, maybe changes their mindset on it.
Yeah. I hear a lot about anti-bullying, but at the same time, I'm not sure if they're teaching it
the right way.
Yeah. Maybe they're not teaching it the right way or not. But I mean, I think maybe the angle is wrong. I think it's how do we teach children to react to bullying, right?
Yeah.
They want to teach the parents to, like, you know, talk to their children.
I think set up a meeting with the parents.
Yeah.
Everyone in an auditorium, and have someone to just talk about it along with their kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like do like a general meeting about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good. You know what the problem with general meetings? Nobody shows up. Everybody's number one to complain about things.
Yeah,
no, seriously, they're number one to complain about things. But then when you call for a general meeting, nobody shows up.
No one shows up.
I was too late. I couldn't get a babysitter or whatever.
Yeah.
If you really want to be there, you're gonna be there. But anyways, that was my little.
I think it's something that this should involve the kids as well.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Starting from elementary school, we start there.
Yeah. I never been bullied, but you know, I'm just kidding. I was bullied my whole life. This body right here, it didn't come overnight. Right? So I got bullied my whole life. But you know, the way I dealt with it was comedy, humor. You know, I was at first, you know, it hurts you, you know, you cry or whatever. But then my defense was humor. I mean, if I said the joke first, then they wouldn't make fun of me. So that's the way I dealt with it. Was it the right way? I don't know, but that's how I dealt with it. Yeah. Never really got into a fight, but well, has anything in your journey? I know you just started it, but like from gymnastics to cheerleading to now pageantry, has there been any like surprise, some awe moments like that just got you like smitten?
I think honestly just winning the title of Junior Team California, I think that is the most crazy thing that's happened to me so far, because it was only my second pageant. Going in there with more experienced girls, I had confidence in myself, but also was very scared, because I was like, oh my goodness, does what I think I've been doing good on, does that even compare to what some of these girls have been doing, or how much experience they have? Does my experience even compare to what they have? So I think that definitely was a big shocker, and I was like, oh my goodness, like for this only being my second one, I've compared to girls that have already done this before. So I was
that's cool. No, I think of when I hear her talking about pageantry, I think of bodybuilding. Like same thing, right? They all come with a package, right? Like they have what their platform, their poses, their walks, everything, right? I think there's a lot of similarities to it. You know?
Yeah.
Have you like researched that at all? Bodybuilding?
Oh my goodness. Mom and my dad. Weightlifting, I watch, oh my goodness, so many documentaries on bodybuilding all the time.
Really?
Yeah, like Pumping Iron. You don't know how many times I've rewatched those with my
Arnold?
dad and my mom.
Oh, Arnold? You just watched Arnold?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so inspiring.
Have you watched the most recent one?
Yeah,
Arnold?
I watched it.
Did you think that was good?
Weren't you inspired by it?
Yes, that one was really cool. I
so
liked
amazing.
He's a very motivating guy.
Yeah, he is. This is someone I would look up to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about being a governor, but I mean, he didn't.
I mean, dude, no, the fact that he knew he can do it and had confidence with himself, that's the power. That's what I admired.
Yeah.
Because he could do anything, right?
Yeah.
You put your mind to it.
And that's the attitude you have to have in life. You know, like if you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to believe in you.
That's true.
And that's the attitude you should have. You should be, you know, confident.
Yeah.
And that's hard to build confidence in a child, you know? So I listen to you and I hear a lot of that confidence, you know,
Thank you.
kudos to your parents for doing a great job in raising you.
Mom.
Yes, parents.
But yeah, that's so awesome. I love it. What's your plan for the next 5 years? What's Isabel going to do in the next 5 years?
So in 5 years, I'll be 18. So I haven't really decided where I'm planning on going, but I definitely know I want to be an entrepreneur and I want to start my own business, be a successful business owner. I don't know what that business might look like yet. Definitely something, I'm definitely thinking financial services, real estate, those two things.
Okay.
I'm very, very interested in. Oh, yeah, contracting. That would be cool.
Okay.
Cool. Definitely still in that same realm of everything like that, like
Okay.
real estate, contracting, financial services, something like that. Yeah.
Building contract, that that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work. But someone that has a great imagination, perfect. Because that's when you start. This I can do. This. We can drop this wall here. I can do this here. And I mean, it's amazing. You watch these home improvement shows, and you're just like, how did they come up with these things just like that?
Yeah.
And when you buy your house, I know Marla, you probably walked into your house and like, what am I gonna do here? I can knock this wall down here.
Yes.
I can add something over here, right?
Yeah.
And that's a little bit of that
Yeah.
building contracting idea. That's cool. I like it.
Yes. Always at open houses with my mom and my dad. Ever since I can remember, always, oh my goodness, there's an open house here. We're going to go look. And we'd be looking at the architecture, like when it was built, all this different stuff that we got to be looking for. And I've just grown up with that. And I think definitely grown to appreciate it because I think I was a little bit annoyed at first. But definitely I've grown to appreciate it and learned a lot from those experiences.
That's cool. So you're set up for your parents are doing a good job.
Yeah.
Good job, mom.
Good job, Mom. Sure.
Oh, yes. I remember that one. That was really nice.
Out here in the Covina area? Oh, really? See?
Yeah, we look at it every day because we could see it from our house on the hill.
They look up to that house?
Someday.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love West Covina, man. I love living here. I grew up in Covina, and
really?
when I bought a house here in West Covina, literally like a mile away from where I grew up. But I love the city, and I know we're talking about to a Whittier girl over here, but I love West Covina, and we're from West Covina, so we're 2 out of 1. We're gonna talk about West Covina, Marla. No, but is there anything? Go ahead.
Do you still see your old friends from high school from
all the time? All the time. And my wife is the one that she'll see someone, she goes, oh damn. and I'm the one that she'll turn around and I go, hey baby, hey baby. I'm that guy. Okay. Remember me? That's me. I've got a podcast. Nice. I don't ever say that, but that's me. I'm always hey, what's up? Yeah. I see it all the time. We stay local. Cool. Yeah, we stay local. How you want to close the show out, Marla?
Well, Isabel, I want to say thank you. It's nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you guys too. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for sharing your story, and we look forward to your 5 years and seeing what you're gonna do in the next 5 years.
All right.
Maybe we can do this again though.
Oh yeah, that would be super cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. Make sure you guys check out all the other episodes, previous, post, past, I guess, whatever, future. So Isabel, you want to give your Instagram?
Oh yeah, follow me at Isabel Fulmer on Instagram.
And then you can find all your ventures there, right?
Yeah, you can find everything there.
Boom. There you go. Well, all right, we'll see you guys later. Adios.